Today, we're diving into cross-cultural teaching, a vital part of working with diverse ESL students. In this video, we'll share practical strategies for creating an inclusive, engaging, and culturally sensitive classroom. One, recognize and adapt to different communication styles. In cross-cultural classrooms, understanding that students communicate differently based on their backgrounds is key. For example, in many Western cultures, students are encouraged to ask questions openly, while in East Asian cultures, students might prefer listening carefully rather than speaking out. You can address these differences by offering multiple ways to participate, allowing students to share answers in writing, discussing in pairs before sharing with the whole class, or using online polls. By making space for both outspoken and reserved styles, you'll help all students feel comfortable and engaged. 2. Respect personal space and body language differences. Body language and personal space can vary widely across cultures. In Latin American and Southern European cultures, people are often expressive and comfortable with close proximity. Meanwhile, in Northern European and East Asian cultures, people might prefer more personal space and subtler gestures. Observing and adapting to your students' comfort zones can help build trust. If a student seems uncomfortable with close interactions, adjust accordingly to make them feel at ease. A small adjustment in distance or gestures can make a big difference in creating a respectful, inclusive environment. 3. Show interest in students' cultural backgrounds. Taking the time to learn a few key aspects of your students' cultures can go a long way. For instance, knowing that your Chinese students celebrate Lunar New Year or that Mexican students celebrate Dia de los Muertos shows that you respect their backgrounds. When these events come up, take a moment to acknowledge them. You might even ask a student to share a little about how they celebrate. This shows your students that you value their culture and helps create a stronger bond with them. 4. Use diverse teaching materials. Incorporating culturally diverse materials makes your classroom more inclusive. If you're teaching food vocabulary, for example, you might include images of sushi, tacos, and kebabs to represent different cultures in your classroom. When discussing holidays, don't just cover Western traditions. Include international holidays to ensure all students feel represented. By exposing students to diverse perspectives, you're broadening their understanding of the world and making learning more relatable. 5. Encourage students to share their own cultures. Giving students opportunities to share their cultures builds a sense of pride and fosters mutual respect. You could encourage students to bring in an item from home that represents their heritage, do a presentation on a holiday they celebrate, or teach the class a phrase in their native language. For example, if a student from India wants to explain Diwali, let them share how they celebrate with their family. Activities like these enrich the learning experience and create a stronger sense of community in the classroom. 6. Adapt teaching styles to meet different learning preferences. Being flexible with your teaching style can help you engage students from diverse cultural backgrounds. Some students from collectivist cultures, like Japan or Korea, may feel most comfortable with group activities. Others from more individualistic cultures might prefer solo assignments. Mixing group tasks with independent work can give every student a chance to thrive. By adapting your approach, you're meeting each student's needs and helping them feel confident in their learning. 7. Discuss cultural topics with respect and sensitivity. When discussing cultural topics, approach them with care. Avoid stereotypes and emphasize that every culture has diversity within it. For example, when talking about holidays, you might say, "Not everyone from this culture celebrates the same way." By encouraging questions and open dialogue, students learn to appreciate and respect each other's backgrounds without judgment. 8. Address misunderstandings promptly and gently. In a diverse classroom, misunderstandings or even biases can sometimes arise. If you notice any tension or confusion between students, address it gently and promptly. For instance, if a student seems to misunderstand another's personal space preferences, use it as an opportunity to discuss cultural differences. These moments can become valuable learning experiences, helping students build empathy and understanding. 9. Foster cultural awareness through group activities. Group activities are a powerful way to encourage cultural awareness and appreciation. When students from different backgrounds work together, they naturally learn from each other. For example, you might assign students to research different cities around the world as a team. This way, they can share insights about their own countries or hometowns, fostering a sense of unity and respect within the class. To wrap up, cross-cultural teaching is not about knowing everything about every culture. It's about being open, respectful, and adaptable. By recognizing communication styles, adapting to body language differences, celebrating students' cultural backgrounds, and creating a welcoming, inclusive environment, you're building a classroom where all students feel valued and ready to learn. Thanks for watching. Cross-cultural teaching is a journey, and with these strategies, you're well on your way to building a supportive and inclusive classroom. Keep learning from your students as much as they learn from you. See you next time, and happy teaching!